leader Aung San Suu Kyi for premier, a potential game-changer that could break days of political deadlock. But Aung San's dismissal last Friday for an ethic violation triggered a scramble for power, with the Pheu Thai party racing to shore up a fragile coalition with a slender majority as its former alliance partner, Hun Chung Thai, mounted a bold challenge to form its own government. Still in the Asia-Pacific on Tuesday, sparkling fears of further damage and destruction amid 2 days after a large quake in the same region killed more than 1,400 people and injured thousands more. Tuesday's quake occurred at a relatively shallow depth of 10 kilometers, the same level as the one that struck at midnight on Sunday with a magnitude of 6. That was one of Afghanistan's worst quakes in years, flattering houses in remote villages. Meanwhile, Afghanistan airdropped commandos today to pull survivors from the rubble of homes in mountainous eastern areas ravaged by earthquakes this week that have killed 1,400 as it wrapped up efforts to deliver food, shelter and medical supplies. The first earthquake of magnitude 6, one of Afghanistan's deadliest in recent years, unleashed widespread damage and destructions when it struck the province of Kunar and Nangarhar around midnight on Sunday at a shallow depth of 10 kilometers. A second quake of magnitude 5.5 on Tuesday evening caused panic and interrupted rescue efforts as it sends rocks sliding down mountains and cut off roads, villages in remote areas. Dozens of commando forces were being airdropped at site where helicopters cannot land to help carry the injured to safer ground. Authorities have set up a camp to coordinate supplies and emergency aid, while 2 centers were overseeing transfer of the injured, burial of the dead, and rescue of survivors, Essen added. Let's move now to the Middle East, where the Israeli military moved deeper into Gaza City today, with soldiers and tanks pushing into Sheikh Radwan, one of the urban center's largest and most crowded neighborhoods. In recent weeks, Israeli forces have advanced through Gaza City's outer suburbs and are now just a few kilometers from the city's center, despite international calls to halt the offensive. Gaza City residents said the military had destroyed homes and tent encampment that had housed Palestinians displaced by nearly 2 years of war. According to local health officials, at least 24 Palestinians, some of them children, were killed by the military across Gaza today, most of them in Gaza City. In the meantime, the Israeli military said today that it intercepted a missile launched from Yemen as sirens were activated in Tel Aviv and several other areas across the country. Yemen's Houthi later claimed responsibility, saying they fired 2 ballistic missiles at Tel Aviv in what they said was an initial response to Israeli attack on Yemen. The Iran-backed Houthi have been launching missiles and drones thousands of kilometers north towards Israel in what the group says are acts of solidarity with the Palestinians. Israel has retaliated by bombing Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen, including the vital Hudaydah port. Its latest blow killed senior Houthi officials, including the head of the government. Still in the Middle East, French President Emmanuel Macron has said that the United States' decision not to grant visas to Palestinian officials for the upcoming United Nations General Assembly in New York was unacceptable and should be reversed. Macron said on social media platform X, and I quote, "We call for this measure to be reversed and for Palestinian representation to be ensured in accordance with the host country's agreement." Recall that Washington said last week it would not allow Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, and others to travel to New York, where several U.S. allies has said to recognize Palestine as a state. In Indonesia, hundreds of women wearing pink and wielding broomstick marched to parliament in Indonesia's capital today to protest against police abuses and wasteful government spending. Protests in Jakarta and other key cities have stretched into their second week, fueled by anger over cost of living issues and lavish perks for MPS. They turned violent after a young motorcycle taxi driver, Afghan Kunawang, was killed when he was run over by a police vehicle. As protests intensified, President Prabowo Subianto said he would cancel a trip to Beijing to attend China's massive military parade, but he was seen posing for a group photo today, alongside Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Before his China trip, Prabowo said over the weekend that he would roll back perks for lawmakers, one of the core complaints of the protesters. We'll take a short break right now. When we return, Worldview continues. Please stay tuned. Let's move now to environmental matters where at least 30 people have died and more than 354,000 have been affected by heavy rains and floods in the North Indian state of Punjab. Authorities have declared all of the state's 23 districts flood hit after rivers and reservoirs swelled to near danger levels. Some 20,000 people have been evacuated from low-lying and flood-affected areas, with hundreds of relief camps set up to provide shelter and essential facilities to the affected families. Appealing to agricultural production, particularly vegetables like wheat and rice. The government says there has been extensive crop damage on some 148,000 hectares of agricultural land, which has been submerged underwater. From Beijing to Washington, from the Strait of Gaza to the waters of Caribbean, the tectonic plates of global power are shifting. As allies form and tension rise, one thing is clear: the world is not just watching, it's waiting for diplomacy or a disaster. We'll be here to track every step, every signal, and every shift. For now, this is World Inspection TV. I am Imogen James. Stay informed, stay prepared, and as always, watch the world. Thank you. Like Mr. Nook, if you don't always know the background story to something, don't always
Emedion,
involve
Emedion,
yourself.
listen to me.
Don't be
Emedion,
involved.
Emedion,
You don't know
listen.
why I was
Emedion, listen to
complaining.
me.
I don't want
Listen
to
to me.
listen. I don't want to listen. You are so fond of
Then if you
doing
don't want
that.
to listen to me, walk out of here.
If you don't know a
I
background
said
story
walk
to
out of here
something,
if
I'm
you don't
not
want to
walking
listen
out.
to me. What do you mean?
You keep doing that thing every time. I'm complaining about